All right, I want to make a little runner for my dryer, top of my dryer, to match my bathroom rugs. So I'm guessing maybe, I don't know, 8 inches here on this side. And then I just rounded it around, try to get it as neat looking as I can. And that's how I start pretty much all of my rugs. We're gonna start it a little ways down though, and then backspace to the end, so I can backspace all the way back here to the edge of it. Well, I didn't plan for that to happen, but it sure did, didn't it? All right, try that again. Go all the way to the back. Oh, crud. All right, now we're in business. Phew. And like I said, it's just gonna be a little runner on the top of my dryer to match my rug, so it doesn't have to be anything fancy. So before I get to the end, I wanna start scrunching. And you wanna keep this flat as you can. Keep that flat, flat, flat. So that means you gotta scrunch. You gotta scrunch a lot in there. And it's really difficult when you use 100% cotton, but do the best you can and go slow. Go slow. I got that all scrunched in there. I'm gonna turn just a bit and go slow. I'm gonna turn it a little more, and I'm gonna keep scrunching. Get as much scrunched in there as I possibly can so that I keep this flat. Turn it a little more, scrunch it. I don't know if you can see that, but when I scrunch it, it flattens that out. Turn it a little more, scrunch a little more, and now we don't have to scrunch anymore. We got our corner made. Straight away. So before I get to the end, you want to start scrunching early. I would say a fingertip, and then start scrunching so that we're keeping this straight and flat. So you gotta really scrunch a lot in there. Let's see how nice and flat this is right here. That's what we're looking for. And again, just go slow. Go real slow. It's not a race. Okay, so scrunch, 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 scrunch. Flatten it down and go slow. Turn it some more. Get that thread out of there. Sorry. All right, scrunch it back in there. Turn it some more. Remember, slow, slow, slow. Scrunch as much as you can up in there so this stays flat. And when you come around that corner and this is flat, success. So now you're just keeping everything nice and flat as you're going down the side of it. Oops, need some more rope. Okay, we're coming back down to the corner. Remember, really, where your triangle meets, like right here, that's where you want to start scrunching. Okay, scrunch it all in there. This is nice and flat. Smash it all down. Use a poker if you have to. Get it as flat as you can. And go slow. Go slow, that's the secret too. Now, you see when I pull this, how this bowls up? But if I scrunch that, how that flattens out right there? That's what you gotta do. You gotta scrunch a whole mess of it in there. And it keeps that flat. And the flatter you can keep that, the neater your rug looks. And it won't bowl up on you. You gotta scrunch it in there until you're all the way around the corner. So see how nice and flat that is? The secret is to keep it flat. And if you have to scrunch coming around that corner, you want to keep this back here flat. And once you get around the corner, you should be good. No more scrunching. Come on down. Remember, when you get to where your triangle starts, that's where you need to start scrunching. And that keeps this flat. So scrunch you a bunch up in there, flatten it all down, keeping this flat. And it's not gonna be perfect, but it sure helps the next round the flatter you are on this round. So just keep scrunching, keep this flat. Keep scrunching, coming around the corner, you gotta keep scrunching all the way around. And go slow. And trust me, it does get easier. I'm gonna scrunch a little bit more just so I keep this flat right here. If you got a poker, use a poker to help. And there we are. We made it around that curve. And as long as you keep these two pieces flat right here, these two flat right here, the side should be really easy. Straight down. Remember what the triangle, where your triangle, the point of your triangle is where you need to start scrunching. When I get down to there, I need to start scrunching. Scrunch it all in there. This is nice and flat. Keep scrunching. And see how I didn't quite get this nice and flat on my row before, so I want to flatten that all down before I add my next row to it so it all looks nice and neat. Scrunch this till this is flat. Mash it all in there. Scrunching nice and flat right there. And we're around the curve, maybe just a little bit more so it's nice and flat. And now we're going down the straightaway. Go down here, I'll do one more. I got my zigzag wide open. I got my stitch length wide open. There's the point of my triangle. This would be a triangle. That's where you need to start scrunching. So this stays nice and flat. And at each round, you will have to scrunch less and less. It will get easier. Promise you. Take your time around those curves. They're the most important. See how nice and flat it is? Just go slow, take your time. Keep scrunching all the way around. Remember where you started scrunching over here? It's where you would finish up scrunching over here. Just so this corner is nice and flat all the way around. There we go. Scrunch and sew. Nice and flat, ladies and gentlemen. Down the straightaway. Each round gets easier and easier. When you're on the straightaway, you don't want to pull. You don't want to push. That's if you add too much fabric when you're going down the straightaway, the next thing you know, you'll see ripples in your work. If you're pulling too tight when you're going down the straightaways, you're going to see it start cupping up, kind of like a bag or a bowl. You just want to let the machine do its work, keeping both sides flat, your rope and your working side. Keep them flat. Easy peasy. If you have any questions, let me know. Try to help you. Thanks for watching.